Hey everyone, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time watching me, welcome. This video is from my March pre-order for Lavender and Speckles, and I'm so excited to finally be able to sit down and film this video. I got this order last week, midweek I think, and so my husband and I ran up to Yellowstone on Friday afternoon and got home yesterday. We didn't go up specifically to go to Yellowstone. My husband's father's brother's family has a cabin in Island Park, Idaho. Those of you that are wilderness people, or those of you that are outdoorsmen or have been to Yellowstone, Island Park is a little town about 20 minutes south of West Yellowstone. West Yellowstone is the most popular entrance into Yellowstone. There's 4 entrances around Yellowstone. West Yellowstone is because it's the most accessible and the closest to a lot of the main attractions like Old Faithful and the Grand Prismatic Pool and such. So anyways, we went up there to help his cousin and actually multiple cousins open up the cabin for the season. Even though they got a foot of snow last night, it's still snowing up there. So that's why I didn't do any videos this past week, and I have several to do. So I wanted to really get this one done first because I'm really excited to talk about these scents with you guys. Just for garbage day purposes, I did open up my box. I usually sniff everything on camera, but I don't have any of the filling, any of the packaging in here. I took all of that out, got it out, so I didn't have to deal with that, getting garbage day ready for tomorrow. So that's a lot of stuff that you guys don't really care about, but I know some of you are Facebook friends with me and you got to see my adventures over the weekend. I did go to the gate of Yellowstone and took my picture like a tourist by the sign, but I had to because I was actually in Yellowstone about 12 years ago. My husband, when I first met him, he was in forensics. That's what he went to school for. He was in forensics for quite some time. And he had a conference in Jackson Hole. So this was before we moved to Utah. We used to live in the East. That's where we met. We flew out here to Utah and stayed with his mom for a few days. And at the time, I said I want to live in Utah because it's so beautiful, but I don't remember me saying that. But Marty swears I said that. And his mother drove us up to Jackson just to, spend time with us, and she wanted to stay up there for a couple of days. And one of the things that she did with me is she did take me to Yellowstone. And I wasn't going to go, but then I thought, man, what if I never get another opportunity to go to Yellowstone? So I went. And if you are thinking about making a trip and doing it, it's really, really, really absolutely worth it. I mean, it is truly something to see. Just the wildlife alone. There's moose and elk and wolves and buffalo and all sorts of other things. When we were driving up, we got to the cabin around midnight on Friday night because we left in the mid-afternoon, but we took our time getting up there and such and stopped to have dinner. But if you really are thinking about Yellowstone, I mean, a lot of my scents here actually are outdoorsy scents. So they are kind of par for the course with what I'm talking about here and telling you what my weekend was like. So I usually film a lot of my videos on the weekends because I'm not working, but you're getting me this week. So here we go. Enough about me and my adventures. Let's focus on Beth and her wax. So Lavender and Speckles, owned by Beth Wilson from Rogersville, Alabama. May 10th, this Friday, Lavender and Speckles, along with Noel's Farm Scents and Second and Spruce, are going to be having their Wax Roadshow pre-order. Don't ask me what I'm getting from any of them because I don't know yet. I haven't looked at the lists. I don't have them in my memory. I have them in my lists. That's a job for probably Wednesday because Thursday I've got a really busy day with a lot of things. So I grabbed too much in my opinion, but always, I'm always happy. Anytime I get a large wax order, I always say, man, I shouldn't have got this much, but then I smell everything and I'm like, oh, I'm really happy I got this. Or I watch your videos or see your pictures in the Facebook group and I'm wondering, where did I miss that one? Or, I think we all do that. So I got some large bags here, which I think, I'll just talk about them first because Why not? Some of these are repeat purchases of mine, and some of them are new to me. Let's do the ones that I've had before. I think I've got quite a bit of small bags, a handful of large bags, and a sampler in here. So we have, let's see. Actually, why am I doing this? This is not making sense, actually. So let's just dive right into it. This is a late night version. It's almost 9 o'clock here, so. Okay, this first one is one that actually was voted last time Beth offered her loaves for the first time in her loaf formula, which is, I think, olive oil based, if I'm not mistaken. I personally did not buy any loaves this time, but I'm going to be trying out some of her new tubs that I know she's offering this next time. So this was a scent that was voted in, and actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was the most popular voted on scent that you wanted to have in a larger size. This is Fancy Lady Perfume. I think this was also known as Emily Gilmore from the Gilmore Girls line. I think. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what this one is. This one is cashmere cream blended with white tea leaves and Palo Santo. Classy. And as you know, if you've seen Gilmore Girls, Emily Gilmore, Rory's grandma, was a classy woman. So this one here, this is a beautiful tea scent. White tea is the most dominant note in here. And then in the background, you're getting the creaminess from the cashmere cream. If you like white tea, this would be a scent for you. This reminds me, I'm not getting too much Palo Santo. It's mostly just the white tea and a little bit of the cashmere cream. But this does smell sophisticated. It's feminine, actually. Not floral or anything, but it's feminine. It's pretty. I'm glad I grabbed this in a large bag because I love that. I love tea blends. Tea blends are just some of the most, they're seasonless. You don't really have to have a time of year to warm them. They're acceptable anytime. They're great for bedtime, relaxation time, what have you. Okay, next. This is another one that I've had. This is one I've had before, I should say. That Fancy Lady Perfume is new to me. This is Coastal Pine Cones. This is my second large bag of Coastal Pine Cones because I knew last pre-order, before this one, I would love this scent. So I did get the large size, and up until this past pre-order, this was the largest size you could get. This is roasted pine cones with hints of lemon, marine air, and sea greens. And you all know Summer loves her roasted pine cones, but I do too. I love roasted pine cones. In fact, there's another vendor that's going to be closing later this year that I've been making customs with and using a lot of roasted pine cone oil. I can't get enough of it. It is the perfect balance of woodsy and creamy, especially Beth's oil. Beth's oil is phenomenal in my opinion. It's not air fresh or pine sol piney, and I don't like that anymore in my life. When I was in my youth, I did, but now I'm liking a more creamy, softer take on a wood. So roasted pine cones is just perfect to me. And coastal pine cones at that. This takes the coast and blends it with the woods. This in fact actually would be something I would warm at the cabin I just spent the weekend at. When you sit in the grand living room, it sits on a lake, and in the distance you can see the Grand Tetons. They're about 2.5 hours away, but they are massive. I also have been to Grand Teton National Park. It's something to see. I'm not trying to sell national parks on you. I'm just trying to tell you, if you're hesitant to go out and see the West and that part of the country, because you're not maybe a camping person. I camp at hotels and motels. I'm not an outdoor camper. Yellowstone is just magnificent, and Grand Teton, it's only 10 miles in between the two. It's just magnificent. This smells like something that would be in the air if I was actually out in the wilderness. You know what I mean? I know I'm stretching here, but just trying to get you to see. It's not salty sea air. It's not straight aquatic. It's not straight fresh. It's got that woodsiness to it, to where if you're standing out in the woods and you have a little bit of water near you, you inhale and it has that fresh woodsy creaminess to it. That's coastal pine cones to me. And I absolutely love this. I'm happy that that one was offered again because it's really something. Okay, this next one is one of my top, if not my top, fragrance from Beth. This is a blend. I can't even remember how many bags of this I've purchased. I think I have 4 large bags of this now in my collection. I had my history with this blend. I bought a small bag, which those of you who are new, this is a small bag. You have 6 of these shapes in here, and versus a large bag where there's, you know, multiple smalls in it. I had a small bag, and I have warmers downstairs in my kitchen, open concept area. And I've been melting a lot of lavender and speckles the last several months, and I had a bag, and I popped it in my warmers, and I went upstairs and worked for several hours and didn't go back downstairs. And then when I went back downstairs, this fragrance hit me, and I thought, that is beautiful. What did I put in? I don't remember. So I went over in my melting tote downstairs, and I remembered that it was this scent here. That scent is pine cones and beach marshmallows, formerly Beach Nights. This is one of the most beautiful fragrances that I've ever smelled. This blend is beautiful. And I've posted this in Beth's group before, but beautiful is a word that I'm using more and more frequently to describe Beth's blends. They're just beautiful. This blend is roasted pine cones, vanilla birch, and marshmallows, vanilla, sea salt, driftwood, and s'mores. That last part is her version of Beach Nights. Beth's Beach Nights is not salty. It's not as strong as Sassy Girl Aromas is. And it's not as creamy and strong as Teddy Bees is. I'm trying to think of the heavy hitters when it comes to Beach Nights blends. Beth's is softer. It's more, it's delicate, but it lets you know it's there. It's not weak by any means. This blended with that roasted pine cone and the vanilla birch, don't forget that. It just takes on such a beautiful, outdoorsy, woodsy, sexy vibe. I love this fragrance. This is my favorite. And every time it's offered, which has been about every time, I buy a big bag of it. I should have bought this in a loaf. In fact, you know, I think I bought 2 bags of this time, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just looking in here because, yes, I did. I bought 2 bags of this because I thought, you know what? If it's not offered for a while, at least I have this. And this is also another one. It doesn't have to have a particular time of year to warm this. This is just, it's a beautiful fragrance. And some of these they're tough to describe, and you just have to, you know, if you're on the fence with any of these scents, just get a small bag and just try them out, and, you know, put them in different areas of your home, let them go, let them do what they do, and you know, see if you like the blend. I mean, Beach Nights is already really complicated to describe to somebody, let alone pairing it with 2 creamy woodsy blends. I feel that I don't really think I can do this do justice for trying to describe how much this is a beautiful fragrance. And I can only encourage you to try it if you haven't before. Pine cones and beach marshmallow. Okay, next big bag, we have Calm Nights. This one I've had before. Calm Nights is a blend of Calm and Wild, which is lavender and iced vanilla woods, and marshmallows, vanilla, sea salt, driftwood, and s'mores, which is Beach Nights. So Calm and Wild, lavender, iced vanilla, and Beach Nights, basically. So this one here, what I'm getting in this is a creamy, creamy, creamy version of Iced Vanilla Woods. I have Beth's Iced Vanilla Woods alone, and it's a pretty masculine fragrance. It's meant to be. I mean, it's a sexy, creamy, masculine fragrance, or cologne, however you want to call it. I smell a little bit of sweet lavender in here, and not too much of her Beach Nights. I've warmed this one before. It does come alive on warm, the Beach Nights, or excuse me, Beach Marshmallows. That's what she calls her Beach Nights now. But if you like Iced Vanilla Woods, or if you like any sort of somewhat masculine cologne, but not aftershave, or, you know, like a heavy masculine fragrance, a masculine cologne, I think you would like Calm Nights because it's relaxing, it's smooth, it has a little bit of something to it. I really like Calm Nights. It's one of her most popular blends too. Let's see if I have any more in here that I've had before. Yes, I have. Okay, this next one, I have several bags of this one. This is G's PB&J. This is fantastic, phenomenal, scrumptious, delicious, perfect, as far as I'm concerned. This is My Little Guy Loves a PB&J. Don't we all? Peanut butter cookies, raspberry jam, sweet blackberry, marshmallow fluff, and fresh baked bread with a hint of funnel cake. So don't let the funnel cake scare you. I know some funnel cake can be a little cinnamony. This is not. There's enough in here that I don't even get the funnel cake. I really don't even get blackberry. This smells like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich from my childhood. My favorite sandwich was peanut butter, I don't like chunky peanut butter. In my adult years, I can handle it if it's all that we have. I don't buy chunky peanut butter. But when I was a kid in school, raspberry preserves, Smucker's, raspberry preserves, and peanut butter on wheat bread, because I was the weird kid whose mom sent wheat bread to school. That's just me. This is what this smells like to me. You get the creaminess of that peanut butter cookie. You get the wonderful, delicious, good raspberry jam. The blackberry jam kind of blends into my nose with the raspberry jam. You get a little bit of that bread, a little bit of it, but the strongest ones in here are the peanut butter cookies and the raspberry jam. This throws very well too. It performs beautifully upstairs and downstairs in my home, in my hot plate warmers and my tea light warmers. That's what I have in my home. This is yummy. It makes me want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So, okay, next one. This is one of my favorite Beth blends. Next to Pine Cones and Beach Nights. This is Grandpa's Study, formerly Richard's Study. Richard being Richard Gilmore from the Gilmore Girls. She changed her names for the Gilmore Girls line for the most part. This one is worn leather, suede, rosewood, sweet pipe tobacco, amber, and woodsy moss. This is a combination of a couple of oils, I think, but this just makes for such a sophisticated, masculine, sexy blend. I mean, this smells like the cigar lounge does at a high-end resort or hotel where the men go with their sports jackets and their cigars to BS about money and finance and real estate, while the ladies go off and do what they do and all of those things. You know, think about that ambiance that this blend is trying to create. I love Grandpa's Study. It lasts for hours. It's a perfect blend. The leather isn't too strong. The suede isn't too strong. You get the sweet, sweet amber and the sweet tobacco, a little bit of moss. It's masculine, sexy, sophisticated, and very Richard Gilmore. If you've ever seen Gilmore Girls, I love Edward Herrmann, rest his soul. My first experience with Edward Herrmann, was Richie Rich with Macaulay Culkin from 1993 or 1994, I think. I've seen Richie Rich so many times. I loved Edward Herrmann. And then, you know, he's perfect to play the pretentious, snobbish, somewhat, Richard Gilmore. So that definitely is something I would think if I was in his study or in a prestigious home like they had. This next one here is a new one. And I went ahead and sprung for the large bag because I looked at these notes and I thought, I know me. And I know I'm going to love this one. This is Pink Sugar Peonies and Cashmere. Peony is one of my favorite fragrances and flowers. My all-time favorite is rose. Second is peony, really. Peony is just so feminine and delicate and beautiful. This is pink peony petals. Say that fast 10 times. Pink peony petals, sandalwood, cashmere sugar, cotton candy, and a touch of pink sugar. So lots of femininity going in here with a little bit of sandalwood. So let's see what this one's like. I like this one. What I'm smelling in here, I'm getting a mixture of peony, cotton candy, it almost has a pink chiffon vibe to me, but not quite. Has a little bit of this sandalwood in here to give it a little bit. I don't want to call this earthy because it's not. It's feminine to the max, feminine, floral, sweet cotton candy, sweet pink sugar. I'm gonna warm this one and see how this one goes. I mean, what I'm warming right now in my home, I am doing a vendor specific month for May, and then next month I think I'm going to keep with the vendor specific. So I'm thinking about doing Lavender and Speckles, really. And then my main point of doing that is to make a dent in my collection. Those vendors, I have quite a bit of blends built up. I'm going to dedicate a month and just, make a dent in them. So I'm going to probably warm this one next month because I think I'm going to do Lavender and Speckles. I've been buying quite a bit, and each order seems like it's getting larger and I want to just make a dent. So stay tuned for my reviews on pink sugar, peonies, and cashmere next month in June. That one, I like it. It has creamy cotton candy to it. I'm not a cotton candy lover all the time, but I was intrigued putting all those blends, all of those oils, with peony. So I thought, give it a try. I like it. I'm anxious to see how it does on warm. I think that's going to be one that really blossoms once it hits the heat. That's just what I'm smelling on cold. Okay, this next one, I went for the big boy. This is Flowers in the Forest, because this is Queen of the Night flower, which I should have looked up what that is, but I forgot that this blend was in here, honestly. So we have a floral going in, but then it's blended with roasted pine cone, Palo Santo, and fresh cut grass. I mean, check them all off. I love all of them. I love grass scents. Grass is such a unique oil. It's very versatile, and it can be blended with fruit. It can be blended with, other grasses, woods. It's fantastic. I love it. Flowers in the Forest. Let's see. Oh, does that smell good? I'm getting the grass. I'm getting the pine cone. I don't know what Queen of the Night flower smells like, but this mostly is grass and pine cone, really. And I'm here for it. This is wonderful. Another reason why I'm getting some of these blends that are off the beaten path is I'm on customs for Beth in June coming up. So I've got to work on my customs list too. And I know that some of these are going to be on it. If you follow me, you know that sometimes I can get a little unique with my customs. But Flowers in the Forest, I love this. The grass you smell, it's almost like you're looking out in the summertime. The cabin I was just at, it sits at the base of a mountain. So in the summer, the wildflowers are just, for miles and miles, as you can see. And it's not there yet because it's still cold and snowing and not quite hit that blooming stage, because they're up higher in the mountains than some of you are, and even where I am here in Utah. So this just smells like flowers in the forest, literally. So okay, these last two are new to me. Forest Fire. I went for the big guy with this one too. Pine cones, amber, rosewood, and a hint of smoky firewood. So amber and rosewood, which I believe was in Richard's study. I think amber, one of these ones has amber and oak moss in it, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of another one of Beth's blends. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another one of Beth's blends. Pine cone, amber, rosewood, and smoky firewood. Oh my goodness. You know what this smells like? This smells like a bonfire. This is very smoky. So if you are not a smoky blend person, don't try this, because it does have a heavy smoke note to it. Even though it says a hint of smoky firewood, if this is firewood oil that she's using, it's very, very smoky, very strong. However, in the back end of the sniff, I can smell the pine cones. I can smell a little bit of the amber. This smells like a smoldering bonfire. So if you're here for that, give this one a try next time it comes back. Forest Fire. There was a fire. They were dewinterizing around with the fire break and the the shrubs that are up there and grass, and they were burning, and I stand out by the fire because it reminds me of home. It reminds me of my dad, you know, being on his tractor all day and burning brush at the end of the day. And I love that smell. It connects me. And yes, forest fire is another nostalgic one for me. And finally, I grabbed a large bag of Cozy Barbershop. So this one is new to me. This is Barbershop, which is basil leaf, bergamot, and woodsy spice, blended with fireside marshmallow. So let's see what this one's like. This smells like other vendors call this oil shaving cream. Let's see. This smells like L3 shaving cream, and somebody else's, I think, I want to say Sweet Tooth Scents, maybe their shaving cream. I'm just trying to give you an example of another vendor who you might have smelled their shaving cream. That's what this smells like to me. It's not quite masculine. It's not quite fresh. It's shaving cream, like Barbasol or Edge, something where it's fresh and clean, somewhat masculine, not too much. I don't get too much marshmallow in here, but of course, I've smelled shaving cream alone, and it's much stronger than this. So no doubt that marshmallow is creaming this up a little bit. So this does smell really, really good. I like to warm this on days where I really don't know what I'm going to warm. And this is fresh and clean and crisp and masculine without being outright cologne, really. Cozy Barbershop. I got more large bags than I thought, really. So, okay. Here's my sample. This is in the new loaf formula. This one I'll talk about last, but I think she put samples of her new loaf formula in this pre-order. And I realize I'm doing my order pretty late, but I explained why in the beginning of my video here. So down at the bottom of my box, each order, I usually do this at the beginning, but it was at the bottom of the box. Each order comes with an invoice. Hide the good stuff up here at the top. Each comes with an invoice here with everything that you order on it. And then I think on here she has the warm date, warm after May 7th. So everything is ready to go because actually tomorrow's May 7th. It's ready to go by tomorrow. I won't warm them until next month though because I'm working on another vendor. So this first one here I want to talk about. Actually, we have the Lavender and Speckles business card here with Beth Wilson and her chickens. And thank you so much. We have the social information on here. Thank you so much from Beth. And then this one here is just wax melting instructions on her shapes and her loaves. Her loaves are softer, and you can cut it with a butter knife, she says, a plastic butter knife at that. Shapes, one bundt shape is perfect size to warm. That's what I put in my warmers. I haven't cut any of these shapes. I just put a full one in that gives me what I'm looking for. So she has I think this is new to this pre-order. I don't remember that one before. So that comes with each order. And then, okay. Some of these are repeats. Some of these are new. So let's go ahead and start. Mountain Espresso. I have a couple of these bags, and I always grab this one because it's a unique coffee fragrance. I believe the origin of this blend was Beth was playing around with some oils one day and just experimented around, and Mountain Espresso was born. Happy accidents, like so many things in this world are. Unique blend of citrus, cinnamon, blue sage, amber, tonka, cedarwood, and espresso. Just right out of the gate, this is one you kind of have to buy and smell because it's tough to describe. The underlying note of espresso is there definitely, but all these other notes of blue sage and citrus and cinnamon, and it's tough to describe. It's like Coca-Cola. You just have to try it. I like this. This lasts all damn day. All day this lasts. So don't worry about if this is weak or not. This is not weak. This is a really good blend. I like this blend a lot. I warm it when I want something different. not just a straight out coffee and cream with bakery. This is not a bakery coffee at all. It's a different coffee. Speaking of coffee, this next one is double bagged. This is Afternoon Jolt. This is the new coffee oil that Beth has purchased. And I know why she double bagged it, because you can smell this through the bag. It's very, very strong. But boy, does that smell good. This is Afternoon Jolt. This is creamy vanilla, almond, caramel, dark roasted coffee, French toast with maple syrup and honey butter. So I love this. This is probably going to go right on my customs list because I love a good coffee blend. And I love her French toast syrup. It's very good. I'm getting the integrity of the French toast. I get a little bit of the almond. I get a little bit of the vanilla. And I'm definitely getting that coffee, that warm, nice. Oh, it's good. Man, this is good. I'm getting a little bit of the honey butter. I'm getting every note in here just about. Afternoon Jolt. I'm glad I grabbed this one. I couldn't remember if I grabbed it or not. But then I thought, you know what? I'm sure I did because why would I... Sorry, I'm touching my plug next to me because my ring light, you can see it's shaking a little bit. I almost knocked that out of the wall. But Afternoon Jolt, thank you for this oil, Beth. This is really good coffee oil. So happy with that. Very good. Okay, next, this is a new one to me. This is Southern Charm. Southern Charm. This is fresh McIntosh apples, white tea, and a feminine blend of peach and apple blossom, atop smooth coconut milk, jasmine, and hydrangea. So this has a lot going on. A lot of fruit, a lot of floral, a lot of femininity. Fruit, floral, femininity. I grabbed this one because I was really attracted to the white tea, the coconut milk, the jasmine. I thought this would be really good for spring and summer. Oh man, this is nice. You know how Mac Apple, I think Mac Apple can knock it down, quite personally, in a blend if it's not done very meticulously. This, you can tell the Mac Apple's there, but it's not wham in your face, the only thing you smell. I am also getting the peach in here, and I'm getting a little bit of that tea. I get jasmine, hint of jasmine, not too much. I should say a little bit of floral. I wouldn't quite say it's jasmine because there is the hydrangea in there. This definitely smells like the Southern Belle. This really does. The only thing missing is the sweet tea. So Southern Charm. Oh, glad I grabbed that one. I'm taking a sip of water. Okay. Next, Honey Pear Cotton Candy Zucchini Bread. Now this one, I wasn't going to grab this one because I'm not a cotton candy person per se. However, I'm glad I grabbed this because this smells so good. I love this honey pear. I love any honey pear, any honey oil, anything like that. I'll usually try it because honey smells so good to me. It's one of those natural fragrances that man doesn't have to do a thing to. It's just those bees make it like that. And I love that. I love nature. I love our universe. I love our earth. I love everything that's natural. Plants and flowers and trees and everything. Even though I have allergies, I still love them. And so I wanted to try, even though I know that's pear, I wanted to try this honey blend. And I am very, very, very shocked at this blend. You get the zucchini bread, but it's not spicy by any means. It's creamy. You can tell there's a little bit of spice in it, but it's a sweeter spice. It almost is like cinnamon sugar without it being cinnamon sugar. It just has that sweet vibe to it that has a little bit of creamy spice. I smell the creamy cotton candy, but the best note in this is that honey pear. This really shines. Whoever created this blend, 10 thumbs up. This is fantastic. I love this. This is just going to be yummy, yummy. It almost reminds me of, pears with a little bit of honey over it, maybe a little bit of plain Greek yogurt or vanilla Greek yogurt. Just that delicious dessert. I think they eat it in Greece quite a bit. Oh, I'm so happy I grabbed this one. Thank you for creating that blend. Next one, I've had this one before. This is pine cones and spice. This one is roasted pine cones with cinnamon buns and a creamy frosting with a touch of pumpkin pie spice. This one, the spice portion and the cinnamon roll portion is stronger than the roasted pine cones in this version here that I'm smelling. It's still there. I shouldn't say that it's not strong. It's there. You can smell that creamy woodsiness. But the pumpkin pie spice and the frosting and the cinnamon buns, it's there. This is a beautiful fragrance too. This pine cones and spice. Oh, every time I just can't keep smelling. I can't just stop smelling this because it's got just that pine cone is such a good oil. Such a good oil. Okay, next. Palo pine cones. This one is Palo Santo, roasted pine cone, creamy vanilla, Palo Santo, and dark amber rosewood. Another outdoorsy scent. But this one here, Beth's Palo Santo is different from any other vendor I've ever smelled. It's a softer, not quite as, it's woodsy, but it's not quite as woodsy as some of the other vendors out there. It's definitely not masculine. Some Palo Santos can be masculine to my nose. It's delicate and soft. It's different to Palo Santo. But the rosewood in here is so good. That vanilla, the pine cone. This is just it's an amped up roasted pine cone. You can tell, I think I bought every blend that has the pine cones in it because I just can't get enough pine cones. It's perfect. It's timeless. It's good. Ugh. I can't describe that one enough. Beach marshmallow cookies. This is beach night cookies, which I've had a lot. And I am actually finishing up a bag downstairs in my kitchen melting tote. This is Beach Nights, Beth's version of Beach Nights, Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, and Sugar Cookie Royale. This one, this blend was my very first experience with Beth's Beach Nights. And in full disclosure, when I first smelled Beth's Beach Nights, I really wasn't impressed because I thought it's not like I'm used to smelling. But then, you know, I let my blends cure for a little while, and then I warmed them, and I, you know, just gave it a chance, and I'm glad I did, because now her Beach Nights is second place for me in my favorite vendors that have Beach Nights. I really love it. It's a beautiful fragrance. And whether she makes it on her own or it's an oil that she buys from a supplier, it's beautiful. It's fantastic. And what makes this blend so good is that Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, which more and more I'm falling in love with as much as I am the pine cones and as much as I am, what other oil am I into right now? Actually, it's Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, so pardon me. Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, for the longest time, I thought it was just marshmallow fragrance, and I thought it was just okay. But then I had a few blends that I was warming quite frequently that had that as a note, and I thought, man, that really opens up on warm, and it really gives something special to that blend. So the fact that she added this in to make it not just Beach Night with Sugar Cookie Royale, but she added a little bit more of that marshmallow power in there with the Royale, Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. Oh, I love this because when I smell this, I smell Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, Sugar Cookie Royale, and then the Beach Nights is in the back part of the sniff. I love that blend. This next one is Antique Shop. This is a new one. This is Old Books, Warm Vanilla Sugar, Pink Sugar, and a hint of Fireside Marshmallow. So, what I'm smelling here, I think it's the Old Books because I'm definitely not smelling Warm Vanilla Sugar. I'm not smelling Marshmallow Fireside. And I'm not smelling Pink Sugar. It's the Old Books. It smells like a library blend. You know, you have those. I love the smell of a library. a real library. You know, I know there's library blends out there that have a cleaner smell of the book, but you know, there's just something about walking into a library and smelling all the old paper that's been in a million homes and just the particular odor that libraries have. I love that. I spent so much time in libraries as a kid. I love to read. You know, I don't have to go down that road again. I've talked about that so many times. This antique shop, this was a no-brainer for me to buy. I'm sure that the pink sugar will come alive on warm because it's there sweetening this up. But this is like the feminine, I shouldn't, this isn't feminine, but I'm trying to compare it to Grandpa's Study. Grandpa's Study is a little deeper and a little richer. This is like a very close relative of Grandpa's Study. So if you like Grandpa's Study, Antique Shop is probably a safe purchase for you if you haven't already tried it. Glistening Bay. Glistening Bay. This one is I Heart Laundry, which is clean cotton. Clean cotton is such a great laundry oil. Blended with plum, sea salt, and ozone. I grabbed this, honestly, for those days that I don't want to, because I'm one of the crazy people, and I melt bakery in my bathroom. I do. I mean, I warm anything anywhere. I don't have a specific type of blends I only warm in my bathroom. I got this one for those days where I really want something fresh and to wake me up in the morning when I'm getting in the shower. Sometimes I take my shower on my lunch hour. Sometimes I do. But I've been trying to get up and be good and take it in the morning time. This is one that I freaking love this because you have the clean cotton, but it's blended to make it fresh and clean oceanic with the plum and the sea salt and the ozone. Sea salt is it's another good oil. It's not used enough. It can make anything better in my opinion. Ah, Glistening Bay, you are phenomenally clean. I love that. Strawberry Musk. Everybody's had this, I think, at this point. At least tried it. This is Beth's favorite blend. This is Strawberry Pound Cake with a tiny bit of Iced Vanilla Woods. Both Bath & Body Works oils. Strawberry Pound Cake and Iced Vanilla Woods. I'm not a Strawberry Pound Cake person in wax. If it's there and it's in a blend with other oils, I might try it. However, I haven't had Beth's Strawberry Pound Cake alone. I think I need to try it so I can really see how hers performs. Because I've tried every vendor that I've ever purchased from. I've tried a Strawberry Pound Cake blend. This one smells really good. It honestly smells like Strawberry Pound Cake and Iced Vanilla Woods. It sweetens, the strawberry sweetens up that Iced Vanilla Woods so well. Ah, this is good. I've talked about this one before, but I honestly haven't sniffed it in a while. This one's going to be warmed. It's strawberry season. I've bought 10 pounds of strawberries already, you know, in the last couple of weeks. I love strawberries. Strawberries, watermelon, peaches. That's all I need, fruit-wise. This next one is Fresh Berries and Baked Bread. This one might have been the top seller, maybe. I think I read this somewhere, but maybe I'm mistaken. I'm sorry if I am. This is sweet strawberries, blueberry muffins, marshmallows, and fresh baked bread. Everything that I want, all into one thing, with bread. The bread note is so strong in this. If you like fresh baked bread, that nice hot out of the oven Rhodes rolls with butter on it, but maybe not butter in here, but you know just what I'm talking about. That Thanksgiving morning, I get up and make Rhodes rolls in my muffin tin, and I melt butter over top and eat maybe 6 or 7 of them before I start my day on Thanksgiving. I know Thanksgiving is carb day. It's no good, but it's so good. So my mom's aunt, not my mom's aunt, my aunt, my mom's sister, she lives in the same home that her and her husband built when they got married 65, 66 years ago. They're in their 90s, so a while ago. And the lady the people who lived in the house next door actually is one of my old English teachers when I was in high school. Honors English 10th grade. The people that lived there before this couple, you know, my teacher and her husband moved in, her name was Maxine. And her husband was named Bob. So when Bob and Fred, my Uncle Fred, my Aunt Barbara's husband's name's Fred, when they would go to work in the morning, the gals would sometimes bake bread, and one of the women would bake the bread and call the other one and say, hey, come on over, we got bread. And they would sit there and eat the whole loaf of bread with butter and not even say a word to their husbands about it. That type of bread. So every time I make bread, Rhodes rolls, I don't make homemade bread. I don't have a bread machine. That would be no good for me because I would eat the whole damn loaf at one time. I don't want that. I think of my Aunt Barbara in that story of just taking a stick of butter and just running it over that hot roll and just letting it melt and just eating it. Like there's few perfect foods in the world as far as I'm concerned, and that's one of them. So that type of bread is what I get in this blend here. And I'm getting a beautiful blend of strawberry and blueberry and creamy marshmallow. This is yummy. This is a berry bread. Very, very, very good. Yes. Bed and breakfast linens. Bed and breakfast linens. This one is fresh, strong laundry blended with cactus, musk, sea salt, sage, and mint. So I wanted to get a laundry blend, even though I have a couple in here I think that's laundry. I'm finishing up Beth's cotton candy laundry downstairs too. Marty isn't crazy about that blend, so I try to warm it when he isn't home. It's laundry and cotton candy. So this one here though is out. Maybe it's not outdoorsy, but it's just truly, it's fresh and clean and like junior aquatic, not super duper in your face ocean. It's just got a little bit of that fresh, maybe greenery to it. Maybe green's the best fragrance, best word to describe it. I like this. This is just clean linen, just seaside linen. Charming Small Town. This one is vanilla, sugarcane, cypress, rosemary, sweet mint, and dark teakwood blended with Palo Santo. This one I think is a Gilmore Girls line. Whether it's Stars Hollow or maybe it's, I don't know. I didn't have Stars Hollow. I'm guessing, so apologize if I'm wrong. Let's see. I like this. This smells like something I've smelled before in my life. Something in my life. I don't know what it is. It might be somebody's house, honestly. You know, especially family members or your grandma's house, or in my case, aunts, because I didn't know my grandmother's. It smells like, you know, you go to someone's house 1,000 times and you know what their house smells like. And it's evoking something in me where I've smelled this in somebody's home before, and it makes me think of that person. And I honestly think it's my Aunt Barbara and Uncle Fred. At some point in their life, in their home, they had what this is evoking in my brain. This is hard to describe because it's not, I mean, look at all these notes that are in here. I mean, that's quite a hodgepodge of notes there. So this one is just one that is evoking warm, fuzzy feeling inside of me and making me think of my childhood, which honestly, over the course of the 2.5 years I've been doing my channel, quite a few blends I've smelled has made me feel like home and family. And that's one of the most important, I don't want to say most important reason, but I think that's why I was attracted to home fragrance at such a young age in my life, and why it's such a strong passion of mine. Because smell can take you back to good times, bad boyfriends, bad girlfriends, or a situation where you were having the best time of your life and you smell, you know, you wore a perfume on your wedding day, or I have a perfume I wore when I was in college and I recently bought a bottle of it, and I'm taken back to those days when you had no bills and the only thing you had to worry about was a test. You know, I love fragrance so much. I love the memories it evokes in us and how it can turn a day around and make a frown turn into a smile. I know that's cheesy, but that's really what speaks to me with a lot of these blends. And this next one is Snow is Coming. I know this one is from the Gilmore Girls line, This is sweet mint, creamy vanilla, maple syrup, bourbon, and roasted pine cone. This one is minty, creamy vanilla, minty pine cone. This is really nice. Perfect winter scent. The last thing I have in here is my raspberry jam sampler, which I had to buy. I think it's so adorable that Beth's has these cute little tags on here that says Lavender and Speckles scents. I wasn't going to get a sampler, but I decided I better, because if I don't, I'm going to kick myself, because my roasted pine cone sampler has been, it's so gorgeous, and there's some scents coming back on this next pre-order list. I know I said it earlier, I don't know the blends by memory, but I do remember vanilla pine cone is going to be on that list. And if you like pine cone at all and you like vanilla, just try vanilla pine cone. It is something special, guys. I'm not a vanilla person at all. I kind of skip over the vanilla heavy scents, but vanilla pine cone, it was part of the sampler. It is phenomenal. This girl's buying it. So unless she's taking it off the list, I'm pretty sure it's on there. So okay, I have not smelled these. First one, raspberry jam, vanilla and caramel sea salt. This one, first of all, I must say, this caramel sea salt caramel sea salt. I love sea salt caramel. It's one of my favorite oils. Blending it with raspberry jam is genius, because you have the sweet fruitiness and then the sweet savoriness and saltiness of it. With a little bit of vanilla, this smells like raspberries and caramel. It works. It does. Raspberry jam, dark berries, and icy vanilla woods. So this one here. I'm getting iced vanilla woods. Not too heavy on the raspberry jam right now. I'm getting iced vanilla woods and a berry. Whatever's in dark berries. Not too much raspberry in this one. This one is still good. I mean, these are all going to be good because raspberry jam is a really good oil. Raspberry and lemon bar. I mean, this one, come on. Raspberry jam, fresh lemon, and white cake. Raspberry and lemon go together so beautifully. Raspberry lemonade. So good. When I was up in Idaho, when I'm out of town, I go in grocery stores and I look for stuff that I can't get here. I was looking, we went on Saturday night, my husband and I, he was working outside doing the men stuff, you know, the heavy lifting per se. He was working on a deck and helping with the brush and all sorts of things. And I said, let's go take a ride. And so we went down to Island Park, which ironically is where my husband and his buddies go fishing in the summertime. And we went to this little ice cream shop, and it has a little market next door. So I went into the market, just looking around, and they had Country Time zero sugar strawberry lemonade. I do not recommend it. It does not taste good at all. I'm sorry if you do like that. It's just not for me. So I'm always trying to, you know, save someone out there wasting a couple of dollars on a drink. Sometimes the zero sugar stuff tastes good. Sometimes it just falls flat. And in this case here, it just was not good to me. I do zero sugar and diet in my life because I am a diabetic of almost 10 years. So even though I do splurge and I'm frivolous sometimes with some of the things that I eat and some of the things that I bake, the key to it is moderation. Don't eat it all at one time. Don't drink it all at one time. So those of you who are out there who do zero sugar, that one was just not for me. Just thought I'd throw it in there because I'm talking about something that could be lemonade. So this one here is it's a very rich raspberry in this one. It has a different, I know it's the same oil, but this one blended with the lemon, it kind of takes on a deeper vibe, if that makes sense. I like this one. You get that bright, crisp lemon. You get the raspberry that's deep and rich, and that white cake is just creamy. White cake isn't always my favorite oil, but in this case here, it does well, because I think if it was yellow cake or birthday cake or something, it might be a little bit too much. It lets that raspberry and lemon shine. Next one, Raspberry jam and beach marshmallow cookies. This one's going to be scrumptious. I already know it. That beach marshmallow cookies. Oh, man. So beach marshmallow cookies. But then add in that raspberry jam. That rich, deep berry raspberry. Oh, this is so good. Very good. I think Charity helped curate this sampler. Fantastic job so far. I mean, I had no doubt that these blends were going to be spectacular, but this is just proof in the pudding, baby. Give raspberry a chance. Raspberry, I know, is scary for some people because it can be floral, but just remember, raspberries are floral naturally. I just bought some raspberries and I cleaned them and I washed them, and I had some, and they do have a floral essence to it. So just give it a chance. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just suggesting maybe just try it and try Beth's if you haven't already. Raspberry jam and vanilla buttercream cake. This one's pretty simple, but sometimes there's nothing like vanilla ice cream with raspberries over it. Vanilla ice cream with fresh raspberry or raspberry compote or raspberry syrup, or cake with Cool Whip and raspberries. There's nothing better to me than vanilla ice cream and berries. Whether it's blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, there's just that simplicity is key. And that's what this is here. I mean, vanilla buttercream cake, it's an oil that's been done 50,000 times. But then you add the raspberry jam in here. Oh, this is so good. This is very, 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 very delicious. Very delicious. Raspberry jam and pink marshmallow pie. Raspberry jam, a hint of pink sugar, sweet marshmallows, and pie crust. Pie crust. Beth's pie crust is the best pie crust oil I've smelled in any of the vendors that I've participated with in the last couple of years. That pie crust, boy, am I getting some customs with that pie crust, baby. Pie crust and beach marshmallow. Pie crust and beach marshmallow cookies. Pie crust and PB&J, G's PB&J. You can add pie crust to anything. Just go with it. Blueberry zucchini bed and pie crust. I love her pie crust. It is so good. So this one here. I get pie crust in here, honestly. I'm not just saying it. I really do get pie crust in here. That rich raspberry jam. It's like putting your nose down in a jar of Smucker's raspberry preserves. That's the best, in my opinion. Smucker's. I don't get too much pink sugar. Just a little bit of a whisper of marshmallow. Pie crust, baby. That's yummy. Raspberry jam, raspberry custard, and French toast. Ooh, this one. This one has a, the French toast is dominant here. I've smelled the French toast in several blends, and that's why I was sniffing it a second time, because I'm getting that French toast. It has the perfect marriage of vanilla and a little bit of cinnamon with bread. And the custard on there, I mean, you dip your French toast in eggs in anyways. So the raspberry custard is just coupled with that French toast to really punch it. And this raspberry jam, that's nice. This is a French toast heavy blend, I would say. Raspberry jam and beachy coconut. This is raspberry jam, boom boom, and pink coconut. Boy, this one's different. But I bet it's good. I'm getting that boom boom, and I'm getting coconut. I'm not getting too much raspberry and jam in this. But you got to remember, coconut's strong. Boom boom is strong. This is a perfect summer blend. I like this. It's different. I like that one. Raspberry jam, pretzel, and powdered donuts. Raspberry jam blended with salty pretzels and fresh donuts with powdered sugar. It's this one here. That pretzel. Ugh. Beth has a really good pretzel oil. Really good pretzel oil. I got her pretzel sampler, I think. I got, yeah, her pretzel sampler last year. Phenomenal. The pretzel oil just comes alive on warm. It's a perfect marriage of salty and sweet. I mean, and a little bit of yeasty. It's really, really good. I'm getting pretzels, a little bit of donuts, not too much, but it's raspberry pretzels. Yummy. Just need some ice cream with that. We have a little sample in here of the raspberry jam, so you can smell what the raspberry jam smells like, which I like that Beth gave us this. So we can really warm this and see, you know, how much of this blend I'm smelling is the raspberry jam. That's what I like, you know what the oil smells like baseline, and then you can blend like crazy with it if you like it. This one is, it's a good raspberry jam. It has, to my nose, just the teeniest, tiniest baby little bit of floral to it. But it's not bad. It's not bad. I've had worse out there. This is not the worst I've had. Trust me. This one is, it's good. I like this raspberry jam. I do. I would warm that alone. And this last one here is raspberry jam and cream cheese zucchini bread. Raspberry jam, cream cheese frosting, and sweet savory zucchini bread. I love zucchini bread, so this one is a no-brainer. I'm going to love this one. Yep, that zucchini bread is in there. A little bit of spice to it, not bad. Cream cheese frosting and raspberry jam. It's in there. The old tagline to Prego spaghetti sauce used to be, it's in there. So raspberry jam, it's in there. So my sample here in the new loaf formula is toasted macadamia and caramel, Brazilian Crush 71, and olive oil wax. This is the Sol de Janeiro. I have the Real McCoy fragrance in my vanity, and this smells just like it. This is sexy. It's very warm, inviting, creamy, rich luxury. So that's my haul from my March pre-order with Lavender and Speckles. Congratulations to you if you're going to participate in the pre-order on Friday. Get your order in early because Beth did close early last time. So I got to take my own advice and get my list made. So hope everyone has a great week ahead. Hope you had a good Monday. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you got this far and you watched me blabber on for an hour with all my Yellowstone talk and all of my jibber jabber. But I love you all. Thank you for the support, and I'll see you soon.